What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another Caffeine and Cardboard video. Good morning, good evening, good night. I don't know. I don't know when you guys are watching this video. I will tell you that I'm recording it just after midnight on a Friday. Obviously, it's a little late, but I'm trying to process through some things right now related to my investment in the board game hobby. If you couldn't tell already, this is a cardboard confessional. This is my first cardboard confessional. Obviously, a while back, Rodney had his about canceling his all-in pledge for the Kickstarter for the new deluxeified edition of one of his favorite games, Castles of Burgundy. And in that video, he admitted how sometimes he struggles with some FOMO about the fear of missing out on certain games. And I've got my own confession to make tonight. As you can see, I'm sitting next to a pile of some heavy games. We've got Vinhos, Lisboa, Pamir 2nd edition. Admittedly, I've only played one of these games, Vinhos, but heavy games have become an increasingly bigger part of my investment in this board game hobby. Games like Praga Kaput Regni and Kanban, and games soon to be played like Lisboa and Pamir 2nd edition and Barrage and Roads and Boats. I am starting to really love heavy games, and there's a big barrier to getting into that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about tonight. I have to make a confession to all of you, to myself, to my co-host Rodney, and to other people watching, that I had a moment the other night while I was playing this game, actually, Vinhos. Now, this moment that I had with Vinhos came at the end of the game where I was looking at the score track. I finished in last place, which may not be news to you guys. I finished in last with 36 points, and the person who won the game, first place, finished with 75 points, a difference of 39, if you couldn't do that math quick. And I was looking at the board, and I was thinking about the decisions I had made, and I was looking back, and I've been kind of asking myself this question as I've been getting deeper into this hobby and getting more into heavy games, like I mentioned. And I'm sitting here wondering, am I bad at board games? Am I dumb? Like, am I making a lot of mistakes? And the answer to that question isn't so much important as the weight that I put into whether or not it's true. If it is true, I have a decision to make. I have to decide whether I care more about being good or bad at board games, or whether I care more about the benefits, the payoff that I get from the investment in this hobby, the relationships that are built, the connections that are made, the time that I get to pour into a hobby that I really truly enjoy. Whether all that stuff is worth more than winning or losing. And thankfully, in that moment, I decided that the answer was yes, that it was, but I still had the moment. I still had the brief thought where I thought, am I bad at games? And does being bad at games, do I care about that enough to want to not play games anymore? And thankfully, the answer to that question is no. But I was battling those thoughts a little bit about whether I care more to win or to just play. And thankfully, I'm coming to, as I said, appreciate these games more for the puzzles that they are, the challenges that they present, the social engagement that they offer, and all that stuff is just worth more to me. And if all that means that I sit around a table with people that I genuinely enjoy their company, and I lose by 40, or I get almost lapped in a game of Kanban last week, I'll take it. I will. I'll take it every time. I don't mean to get too deep or sappy with you guys right now, but that's worth way more to me than winning or losing, or being good or bad at games. And sure, it's nice to win, but I had to decide what my real goal in this was. And Rodney and I have talked about it before in videos and on our podcast. I just sort of had this moment, and I had to reevaluate that for myself. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep playing heavy games. I'm gonna keep playing games by Vital Lacerda and games by Cole Worley, games by other designers, Martin Wallace. Should have thought of more designers before I started the video. I'm gonna play more games by those guys because I appreciate them for what they offer me outside of just winning or losing. And I hope the same can be true for you guys. Maybe you're on the sort of the verge of this hobby, you're trying to break in, but you're worried about whether or not you might look stupid when you make a decision, or you're worried about what the final score will be, or whether you win or lose, and what that means about you. And I'll tell you, if the people that you're playing with are looking around and they're making you feel bad for losing or for making a bad decision, that's not a indication of whether or not board games are a good hobby. That may be an indication of whether or not you're in the right group. I'm in the right group. The people that I play with don't make me feel bad. They help me learn. They help me get better at these games. They make it more competitive and more fun in the meantime. And I'm happy to keep doing it if I get to play with them. I'm happy to keep losing by 40 and keep nearly getting lapped and keep making bad decisions in these heavier games if it means that I get to spend time with the people that I get to spend time with, and I get to learn what I get to learn along the way. So all that was a long-winded way to basically say board games are about winning and losing, and they're a lot more about what's going on around the table, what you can learn, the relationships that you can build. And I'm glad that I was faced with that question the other night, and I'm even more satisfied with my answer that games are worth it. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope that you could get some encouragement from this video. Happy gaming. Thanks for tuning in.